Good morning, or is it afternoon? It could be evening when you're watching this, but
Right.
either way, we are EE Spotlight Event Ensemble in the spotlight today. The lovely, charming, ever talented Miranda Reyes. But there's a Madison in there somewhere. Is it Miranda Madison Reyes? No, it's Miranda Madison Events.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm confused now because there is
Well,
a help me out.
Madison's my middle name. So
Ah, and the company is
Miranda Madison event.
aha. Okay, great. So we won't talk about the Reyes thing. That's all right. So you wear a lot of hats. As a matter of fact, when I went to your website, I knew that you were an event planner. So we're good. That's what I thought. But then when I went to your fan page, you've got this whole other thing going on. So we're going to talk just right now briefly the 6 things you do, and then we're only going to talk about events today. And then later, I'm going to invite you to come back and we'll do a spotlight that's not specific for Event Ensemble about those other things. But what are all those things?
So we do wedding planning and event planning. And so with the wedding and event planning, we do have different packages off of that end. And so it's more so coming in at a certain time that you may need us before the event. So a month-ish before, we have our day of coordination packages. And then we move into our partial planning packages, which is about 2 to 5 months. And then we have our full planning, which is essentially, as Scott would say, I feel like the big kahuna. And so then, that runs 6+ months before an event. We're, figuring out all the vendors for you, having all the communications, getting all the ducks literally in line for you. And then obviously as you move down the line with the packages, it's more so onto the plate of the client that they need to do. And then we just kind of come in, wrangle everyone together, and then pull everything from there. And so then that's kind of off the event planning and wedding end. Then we also, offer balloon services, which actually did start, through COVID and everything. We're doing like the quarantine birthday parades, making sure birthdays were still being celebrated for everyone. So those have been fun addition to the company. And then we also offer styled shoots, which we personally love hosting.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's been really fun. We did about 18 between the end of May last year to November. And so this year we're looking at about doing 8. So I've cut that in half, obviously with increased actual clients. We're really excited. So those are really the services that we offer. And we do everything from event wise, baby showers, anniversary parties, birthday parties, dinners maybe, and then obviously wedding, and we can do small, medium, large. We've done 1,000-person Indian weddings down to 20-person micro weddings to 100-person just traditional weddings. So there's a huge range. And then we've been fortunate enough to fly out to Charleston for 1,000-person, motivational business conferences. We've assisted with amazing planners off the bar and bat mitzvah end. We've done, yeah, all the fun things, and then my background also in golf. And so, we can do golf fundraisers, we can do golf tournaments, off the sports end as well. So just lots of different things that we offer. And that's why we, and I've been saying it from the beginning, but we truly still do call ourselves an all events planner.
And you are, because based on all of that you've described, we've done spotlights with other event planners and they do weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Or they do corporate, or they do weddings, but if you need. But it sounds like you are truly an all event planner. And,
Yeah.
and that's exciting because I've always coached DJs, because that's one of the things I do, that if you just do weddings and kids show up the wedding, you're not going to be prepared for them. You need to do youth events to know how to interact and engage and entertain with young people. So then that becomes a tool in your box so that you can engage them. And so the idea that a wedding planner, if they only do weddings, it's okay, but it's a narrow, lane. And having the experience of corporate events and other events that bring in to play at a wedding, or when you're at a corporate event, the things that you do at a golf tournament also bring into play. So this is very exciting. So I want to ask, because I'm, ready to go.
Yeah.
What is your absolute favorite type of event?
I still feel like it has to be a wedding, just because there's nothing better than the mom and the aunt and the uncle and everyone coming to me and the team at the end of the night and just saying like, thank you so much. This was such a well put together event. Whereas, with corporate and birthday and everything else, it's just kind of like, okay, thanks, good job, but there's nothing better than, I feel like, at the end of a wedding, that hug, or fist bump nowadays, or elbow, with obviously COVID going on. There's nothing better than that. So I definitely feel like weddings are still my favorite.
Okay. And bride, groom, bridegroom, there you have room. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Not all planners, so like
Sure.
to check that out first.
Yeah.
So you're planning a wedding. What do you think is the most important moment where, if they didn't have a planner, something would go?
It's funny because I feel like it's actually in the pre-planning of, like, granted, there are still a lot of people that go without a planner in the pre-planning, but it's more so, even just starting off, because we honestly save a lot of money for the clients, just in terms of time, even, because a lot of people that are searching through Facebook and Instagram and whatever it may be, they're contacting, maybe 10 to 15 vendors per category. And so then it's all that time that now they're having to communicate with all these different vendors, get in touch with all these people, go back and forth, figuring out pricing, make the Excel sheets, figuring out who makes the most sense, what's the different things. Whereas, if you literally just go straight to a planner, we already have our preferred people that we enjoy using. Sometimes, most of the times, we have discounts with these vendors. So then, we are able to pass that along to you. And then it's just not like, okay, well, I'm going to go and contact these 9 people per category. For us, it's just texting our friends now and say, hey, do you have this and this date available? I have a bride and groom or couple that is wanting your services. And then it's just like, yeah, I'm available, I'm not available. And then from there, you're already saving a ton of time, a ton of money, like all of it. Time is really what it is, but I think ultimately, yeah, that's where it starts.
You've opened a huge can of worms there.
I know.
Okay, because you covered a lot of territory and a lot of things that are really important for couples who are getting married, as well as other people who are looking to plan an event, whether it's an anniversary or a corporate event. But the vendor selection, and every planner seems to have their own little, they've got their posse, they've got their troop, if you will. Do you select a vendor for your couples based on price, performance, or a combination of factors?
I definitely think it's a combo, and it definitely depends on the category. I know photographer is a really hard space because obviously there's so many different types of photography. So say someone really wants like light and airy photography. Okay, these are my people that I like to use. But then in terms of like any of the other categories, it's more so just have I worked with you before? Do I vibe with you well? And then from there, I I really just give them those people, and they kind of all vary in price. So I kind of leave it then up to the couple on what they would want to spend, how they feel. A lot of them will get them over the phone, get them over Zoom, kind of get to know them a little bit better. So then I really leave it up to them on what they would like to spend. So
And
they.
and some of your vendors actually offer you a special. In other words, because I'm working with Miranda and I enjoy working with her and her clients are always so fabulous, we'll offer you this, whether it's a package or a discount or something, and then you can pass that discount on to your client, which gives them the opportunity to save a ton of money, as opposed to if they had contacted the vendor, whether it's a photographer or whatever, directly, then it would be what I refer to as retail price.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm always a huge advocate of telling couples, if you need one service, let's make a referral for you. But if you need two or more, you need a planner, because the planner can save you money and save you grief.
Sure.
And a lot of running around and time and all that you've mentioned. So let's talk about your absolute favorite ever did event.
I think it has to honestly be one of the ones that I assisted with, and it has to definitely be the one that I assisted with under Shy Khan with Weddings by Shy, the 1,000-person Indian wedding over in San Francisco. Actually, we were there for 7 days. Truck loaded in florals from Houston and LA, and they had all the Shivari chairs and the ghost chairs, and the budget on that wedding was just insane. But I'm a really big decor person. Like I appreciate good decor, and I know how much it is. And so when I saw the decor that they were bringing in, I was just floored. They pipe and draped a full entire ballroom like it was nothing, like with the most like sparkly crystal like drape, probably just insane amount for just that drape alone. All the stages were like gold vinyl, and all these just insane details and candle lights and all these things. So in terms of, just an amazing event that, I'm going to hit year 3 this year. Maybe I won't hit that for a little longer, but, hoping to, obviously. But in terms of, still being like newer in the industry and seeing that caliber an event at that, early in my career, I was just floored. So thus far, that is definitely an event.
It's always nice to participate in an over the top event, if you will. We did a circus event that was in a ballroom. Hold on a second. It was 4 walls, and they came in and they said, we're going to make this a circus. And I looked and thought, okay, whatever. But the client and the planner got together with a good budget, and everything was not just pipe and draped, but full on circus tent, striped. When you walked into the room, it was full on circus theme. With the DJ obviously was playing circus music, and the clowns and everything was there. They even brought in an elephant. So I'm here to tell you, when you have a planner who has a budget and a client who lets the planner free with their imagination, then magic can happen. And I know Shy, who you're referring to, and she does that on a regular basis with her clients. And I love that you collaborate. It's so important that you collaborate. Let's talk about that for a second. When you're working with a photographer or a caterer or a DJ or a band, who gets the ultimate say?
For me, it is, personality. I work really hard off of, me vibing well with the owners, the team, and not saying that, everybody needs to impress me, or you can't, make me mad or anything like that. But it really does go a long way to see people go above and beyond, to just be a good person. I'm very observant. It's funny because obviously, like, we're just chatting a ton here today, but normally, just in a crowd or even in any of the EE meetings, I am just, staying in the corner, kind of just, observing people. And so I watch, and I am just kind of watching how vendors are reacting with each other and interacting with each other. And how are they handling, pressure situations,
Right.
which is the biggest thing. So in terms of my collaborations, with, any of my styled shoots, anything that I really put on, and that's also, how I also find my vendor list is like, I want to see you in action first and foremost. And so whether this is in a shoot, whether this is, obviously with a client, whatever it may be, I need to see you in action. I need to see how you are, with me and my team. And even I'll have some people, cancel on me for like styled shoots or anything.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And
That's
so like work is work, and so for me, I'm like, that goes a long way. And I'm sorry, but if you're a decorator and you cancel on me a couple days before the shoot, like, I have 25 other decorators right behind you, that have
Mhm.
inventory. So I hate to be, that cutthroat, but I would rather give someone else a chance, and just kind of like learn and meet new people. And that's just kind of how I move with my collaborations. And I'm always happy to, more so, off the end of helping people get their work, get the content. I'm really big about content with social and everything. But more so just with, maybe people that are wanting to like get into the industry, understand, wedding and event planning. I'm super big into like that even mentorship role to a lot of the girls, maybe that are at ASU, or maybe their moms that are wanting to also get in to event planning. So there's just, multiple ways that I love to collaborate. And I, ultimately just feel that it's, what I'm meant to do. And I'm, meant to show people that this industry is amazing. And if you get in touch with the right people, these are the things that can happen. Um, so yeah.
Hmm. I love the way you think. Just
Yeah.
wanted to, get that out in the open and say,
Yeah.
we're very much on the same vibe in terms of how we like to collaborate and work with others, and are totally focused on the success of an event.
Sure.
So the two whys, because you're such a wise young lady, why an event planner and why Miranda?
I think it's just going to roll back to what I was chatting about, how we ultimately can just save you time, money, all those things. So that's my definite why on event planner. And then I would like to also add on that piece of, we've seen so many events, we've been through so many experiences that we just kind of know how things are going to play out. Not that we're saying we're at some, we have some crystal ball, or, this is this, but we've seen these situations play out time and time again. So we can already guide you in, okay, let's do this instead. Let's, plan around this. Okay, photographer contracts only for this amount of time. Let's front load the program so everything's, while the photographer's there. And then ultimately, like, we're just a friend through, and an unbiased friend. I think a lot of family feuds or even just arguments may start from the stress of planning an event. And so for us, we can still be your friend, but we're also going to be those people that are going to just guide you, like I had said.
Mhm.
And then, Miranda Madison events, because at the end of the day, we are there for you and what you want. We're, like I said, unbiased to whatever we want. If we feel we need to go get creative, we can go put on a style shoot for ourselves. But whatever you want and how you want it is what our mission is. And at the end of the day, you're marrying your best friend, you're celebrating your birthday, you're, doing all the fun things. But as long as the family, as long as the attendees, as long as everyone's just enjoying the event, that is our mission and goal. And as long as that's happening, that's all we're happy for. And that's all we care about, really.
I love that. It's your day, your way, you say.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Thanks for taking a few minutes to spend some time with us to tell us about your services, which are stellar as far as I'm concerned. I always enjoy working with you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Scott. And yeah, thanks.